Hello, everybody. So, you've all heard the drama recently about Twitch and new contracts. They have a new CEO, and the new CEO has been putting in a lot of changes. And I actually think that change is good. You can't you can't just stay stagnant. And sometimes you have to make big changes that are very uncomfortable. Now, Twitch has made some huge blunders recently, and these blunders include really not thinking about the viewer and not thinking about the content creator and thinking more about the bottom line and how to extract more money out of the system, which is very much a corporate way of looking at things that is, well, in all honesty, every time you see a company bought up by another company that was previously private and then is part of a company that is now public and has like shares in it or whatnot, given like Amazon, and the desire that happens, or the stuff that happens that forces you into monetizing everything to the nth degree. And in many cases, the way that turns out is that you are thought of as more of a number. You're thought of as more of a transaction, than being a person or being a connection between people. And you are. It all boils down to the dollars and to the money flow. And so it's not surprising that Twitch is making these changes to up their the amount of money that they're extracting from all of us. And on one point, that's a company's job. A company's job is to make money. I mean, you don't typically make a company that survives that doesn't have a primary goal of turning a profit. The ones that a charitable organization is one that may not turn a profit at all and everything. And Twitch is definitely not a charitable organization. So Twitch came out with a whole bunch of new rules, and then they pulled 75% of them back. One of them that they did not pull back was an entry in the terms of service that says you may not simulcast. Simulcasting is what I am doing right now, live on Twitch and on YouTube. And I've been doing this ever since the start. My original contract, or the contract that I'm under right now, actually says I can do this. Whereas it's been a rule that partners could not do this for ever. And, I signed up very early on with Twitch, and they had me do a couple of tests. I went back and looked at all of my notes and stuff, and they had me do a couple of tests to see what kind of audience I would get and stuff. And they based a lot of everything off of my YouTube. And they said, yes, we'll make you a partner. And very early on, I was made a partner. And, that was all fine and dandy because I had this ability to stream to both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. And I had the rights to do it. There was a couple of hiccups along the way. There was a couple of times where, Twitch support contacted me and said, tisk, 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 don't do it again, or we're gonna, ban your account. And then I'm like, well, look at my contract, please. It says I can do this. And they left me alone. So now, with these new contracts coming out, they have given me the ultimatum that I must sign this new contract. Otherwise, in a little less than 2 months, I'll be dropped to affiliate status if I don't sign it. And in 1 year from my anniversary date, which happened to be June 6th, which is the day that all this went to shit for everybody, then if I don't sign it, then I'll be dropped completely after the period of 1 year. So I have looked at this, and I really did try to communicate with Twitch and everything. And my old contacts from my original contract negotiation are gone. They're not with the company anymore. My attempts to contact Twitch, see, I'm a small guy now comparatively. I was in the, I was much higher up the scale whenever I first started on Twitch and was first a partner. And that's because there wasn't nearly as many people broadcasting to Twitch and everything. And there's been a lot of really great talent that's come up over the last 10 years that has just skyrocketed way above my stats and numbers. And now I am really turning out to be more of a I'm small to mid. I'm somewhere in there in the size of my channel. And so anyway, when I contact Twitch these days, I do not have a dedicated person. And because of that, I have to go through their partner support. And so I did go through their partner support to attempt to talk to someone about my contract. And so I wrote them a very thoughtful and concise ticket, let's say. And the response that I got was, and I kid you not, this is the response that I got. The response that I got was, I'm sorry, we are not able to make this decision on this contract item that you're requesting. You'll have to be in contact with Twitch. And then it said, Twitch may reach out. And that was the whole answer. And so I'm like, what the fuck? Really? Wait, I contacted Twitch. Why are you telling me I have to talk to Twitch? What is this, what is this infinite loop? And so I immediately replied to them and said, okay, I thought I was contacting Twitch to discuss my Twitch contract, but if you're not Twitch, can you please put me in touch with Twitch? Meaning, escalate it. They replied saying, I'm sorry we can't do that, we're closing the ticket. Really, nice way to just shut me down. So I did reply to that, asking them to escalate the issue. And just flat out asking them to escalate the issue or provide me with the contact information for who I should be speaking to. And it's been dead silence ever since. So anyway, Twitch is the devil. And so they're forcing me to choose between my Twitch community and my YouTube community. And, it's much like telling you that, especially since I've been growing the channels for 10 years, more than 10 years. I've been, doing this with both channels for so long. And yes, it's been more difficult. Yes, it's harder to do some things. Yes, it separates the community a bit, but there are very dedicated people on the YouTube side who only watch on YouTube. They never watch on Twitch. And the same on Twitch. There are very dedicated people on the Twitch side who never watch on YouTube. And so, it's like, okay, so how do I do this? This is much like some sort of dumbass, court order or something like that would be saying something like, you have 2 kids, you can only eat dinner with one of them from now on. And so you need to choose one that's a primary that you want the best relationship with, because the other one is lesser and doesn't matter. But the other one, sure, it can come around after dinner, when you're done with dinner, and get leftovers. And so, the choices are, do I broadcast only to Twitch? Do I broadcast only to YouTube? Do I broadcast to both Twitch and YouTube, but separate shows at separate times? Or do I give up Twitch altogether and move to someplace like Kick or Rumble or whatever, or do my own thing? And so I studied this. I studied the stats. What are the stats? One is that Kick is owned by a casino. They've got some other sort of goals with that, because they're doing like this 95%, 5% split with creators, with paying them, and that doesn't make any business sense whatsoever. It's very lost leader, and it is something that if they continue to go on this path, it sounds to me like potentially a Ponzi scheme, and it just doesn't feel right. There's a lot of big streamers that have put in millions of dollars into Kick to make this thing run. They're like part owners, and I think that from what I'm seeing with that stuff, it shows signs of problems that are going to happen in the future, and I need to stay away from that. Not only that, I don't promote gambling. I mean, sure, gambling with ISK in game or gold in game or whatnot, that's fine. I don't really promote gambling with real money. And I know some people do it just fine and everything, but it's not my thing. And there's a lot of problems with it, and those people, I don't want to cause any additional harm. That's just not my deal. And there's something about, it's probably going to be like running casino ads at the beginning of my shows and stuff, or in the middle of them, and it's not under my control. And I'm just not going there. So Rumble is another choice, and Rumble is very, very political. And they also do not have as good a support for tools and stuff. Kick doesn't have good support for tools either. Kick doesn't have an open API for like the bot stuff, at least not very good. Twitch has done an excellent job of that. YouTube really sucks at it. YouTube has APIs, but they suck because they're very limited, and they're protective of everybody's privacy and everything, which means that like the gold stuff, that we do in Twitch chat and in YouTube chat, where you collect gold for just being here watching. Well, people on YouTube, you guys on Twitch may not know this, but people on YouTube have to say something in chat every 5 minutes in order to keep it alive so that they keep collecting. And that's just horrible. You also can't do dungeon raids over there and stuff because it can't handle the timers, a 5-minute timer, because it people time out there in as little as 2 minutes after they say something. So anyway, Rumble, it's very political. It doesn't have a lot of the tools. And while there are a lot of places that are going to Rumble, the politics there tend to be on the outside of things, which I'm fine with everybody's political views, but I really, really believe that it's important to stay away from politics within the shows here. And that's been a premise all along. Something has, for me to mention something about politics, it has to be really bad, in my opinion. And then I mention something, and then I'm like, shit, I'm breaking my own rules. Okay, I'm not. Let's just stop right there. And so Rumble is a choice, but it's not the greatest choice. So here's what I'm going to do. And it is, well, one more thing. There's something really important about each one of the channels, and that is discovery. So in business terms, bringing in new customers, bringing in new viewers and everything is the number one thing that's needed. More than creating sales or anything else, it is bringing in new people.
Welcome to the Dragons.
Twitch has a 5 times greater stat on bringing in new people on discovery than YouTube. And so YouTube does not promote live streams well. They don't have a central place that they're driving everybody in, because YouTube's bread and butter is videos, not live. And while they offer a whole bunch of live stuff, they don't promote live well. They promote primarily videos, and that's their gig. It's just the way that it was designed, and it's the way that the algorithms work to where they're promoted and everything. And it is basically what YouTube is designed. Twitch, on the other hand, has always been designed from day one to be about live streaming. I mean, they started at Justin TV, and then they moved to Twitch whenever they decided they wanted to focus on video games. And so, so from day one, it's always been Twitch is the one who has had the greatest foothold on live streaming and has the greatest discovery. Obviously, I have a bigger audience on Twitch. So with this 5x discovery difference between YouTube and Twitch, I also have about a 5 times difference on the viewership on YouTube and Twitch. So for that reason, you know, my emotions say, tell Twitch to just take a hike and leave Twitch. My logic says, stay with Twitch and do live to Twitch, record the live shows, post them to YouTube after the end of each show. And so that's what I'm going to do. So today is, if you're watching this live, today is the last live show on YouTube. And I don't feel good about saying that at all. And I don't take this lightly. And, you know, if I do, I'm waiting to sign my contract with Twitch. I'm waiting on that to see if I can, in fact, get things to change on that. But I'm not very hopeful given my experience so far. And so as of today, today's the last day that I'm simulcasting. And, you know, I'm not happy about that. I'm really not. And I don't want you guys on YouTube to think that I value you any less, because as people, I 100% value you all the same. And, but as platforms, I have to look at the strengths of each platform and how everything's working out. And so it will provide some other benefits, like the recorded videos will be 1440p on YouTube, and they'll be very nice quality. There won't be a lot of pixelation and stuff, but they won't be live. They'll be recordings of the live show, and I'll post them right after the shows are done. So there'll be a bit of a delay there, and I'm sorry. It's all I can say is that I'm sorry about that. So hopefully it translates into that since YouTube does better with videos, that in the end, it ends up being a lot more views than it was when I was doing it live, because they also don't promote live videos from live very well at all after the fact. And primarily it's subscribers who find the videos after the fact instead of new people. It's a pretty big difference. So those of you on YouTube, if you want to watch live, it's going to have to be on Twitch in the future. And again, I apologize, but I think overall it's the right choice. I don't like it. I know that a lot of you won't like it, but sometimes you just have to go with the flow, even if you don't like it, because it's the right thing to do. So, all right. I do want to give a big thank you to everybody who's supported on YouTube. The videos are not going to stop. The live shows are still going to be there. They just won't be live. And I will post other videos there as well. So, all right. Thank you. Do leave your comments. I will read them. And if things change in the future, then I will change things again.